Have you ever felt like you've completely outgrown the person everyone thinks you are? Like you've emerged from this cocoon, you've got your wings, but people are still pointing at the empty shell you left behind? Well, today we're going to dive right into that feeling and figure out how you can start writing your own story, way beyond what anyone else expects. Sometimes our past can make us feel, well, notorious. Now, this word usually means being famous for something bad, right? But it just perfectly captures that feeling of being stuck with a reputation for a version of yourself that doesn't even exist anymore. And it doesn't matter if that old rep was good or bad, it just feels like this label you can't peel off. And that really brings us to the biggest question of all. Is it even possible to outgrow the version of you that other people are so attached to? It's a tough one, because it's not just about you changing on the inside. It's about trying to navigate this maze of perceptions that everyone else has built around you. And here's the thing we just have to accept. People will be people. It's just a fact of life. Whether they've known you your whole life or they just met you 5 minutes ago, they're going to have their opinions. They'll cook up a story about you, and a lot of the time, that story has almost nothing to do with who you actually are. This image, wow. It just nails the problem perfectly, doesn't it? You are the butterfly. You've transformed, you're ready to fly, but so many people are still just fixated on that cracked cocoon, that past you've already shed. They're pointing at the empty shell, defining you by where you've been, not where you are right now. And this quote right here, it really hits the nail on the head when it comes to how those old stories stick around. See, a reputation isn't always built on truth. Not even close. It's built on repetition. It just takes one person's whisper, one tiny little observation, and suddenly it snowballs into this massive narrative as it gets passed from person to person. So let's break that down for a second. These perceptions, they're almost always based on what people think they see, not on what they learn from actually taking the time to know you. One little moment, a snapshot in time, gets blown way out of proportion. Then the whispers start to travel, and before you know it, there's a whole story about you that you had absolutely zero part in writing. So this really leaves you with a choice between two completely different versions of yourself. On one hand, you've got the surface-level display. That's the flat, framed picture of you that other people hang on their walls. But then there's the real you, a ball of fire, just burning powerfully, fueled by your own internal drive. And this is so important. The goal isn't to convince everyone else to see the real you. The real goal is to stop even worrying about that, and instead to focus all your energy on becoming the version that truly vibes with yourself. Because that's the energy that's going to propel you forward, deeper into your own authentic self, no matter what anyone else thinks. There's this really beautiful way to think about this, a sort of evolving mindset. It's kind of like chasing butterflies. When you're a kid, you run after them, you're desperate to catch one, right? But you never can. Then you get a little older, a little wiser, and you realize you have to stop chasing. You stop chasing people, you stop chasing their approval, and instead, you just stand still and marvel at their freedom to be exactly where they want to be. And in that moment of just watching, something clicks. You realize that the freedom you admire in that butterfly, well, that's the same freedom you should be wishing for everyone else. And most importantly, for yourself. It's all about mutual respect for each other's journey. And why is this so critical? Well, because genuine internal happiness, it's just so much rarer and more powerful than any amount of external validation you could ever get. Honestly, it's a bit of a miracle when someone truly finds it. So even if you totally disagree with someone's path in life, if they've found that internal spark of happiness, that's something to celebrate, not to judge. Now, of course, this isn't always going to be a smooth ride. People will disagree with your path. So what do? Here's a super simple game plan. First, try to be civil. Be open. You might actually learn something. But if the conversation just isn't going anywhere productive, the best strategy is to just disengage. Protect your energy, preserve your peace. It's that simple. All right, so let's boil this all down. What are the big takeaways here? Number 1, your story is yours to write, period. Number 2, prioritize that internal fire over the external display, always. 3, let other people fly free on their own path. 4, know when to have a civil conversation and when to just walk away to protect your own peace. And finally, celebrate that miracle of internal happiness in yourself and in others. So it all comes back to you, doesn't it? The cocoon is cracked. The past is in the past. The only question that really matters now is this one. What story are you writing?